So, hey.
Hey.
Your battery left was still connected when I got down here.
Oh.
Yeah, so then there's a glove box light that's open on. So it ran that battery dead.
We tried to start it up and it wouldn't start.
Alright. So, you've opened the hood on this car before.
Mm-hmm.
See if you can do it for this one. On this one, there's a lever. Put your finger in the right side. Did you feel it?
Mm-hmm.
And you can push it over.
I did.
Alright, and then lift. Alright, this one's really heavy.
It's also hot.
Yeah, it will be. Alright, so we're also going to grab that right there. Yep. Push it up. Now it goes in that hole. See where the arrow's pointing?
Right there.
There you go. So we got a battery over here.
Uh-huh.
Can you tell me which one's positive, which one's negative?
You taught me this. Red is positive, black is negative.
Okay. For the most part.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we can assume that. This is a newer truck. We can assume no one's been working on it and maybe has somehow rewired something. Okay? But you're right. For on this one, we're going to assume red's positive, black is negative. I'll try to connect it here, you know, just wherever it'll latch onto. Okay, that should be. You said these are your dad's?
Yeah.
That's what I saw earlier.
It wasn't the cables. Cables are fine. What we're going to do is we're going to just replace the battery, or pull the battery out, hook it up to the truck, charge the battery without it being hooked up to the car, and then we'll put it back in and give it a test.
Oh, that makes sense.
So this is just a cable with a metal end on it. If I had a cable that was long enough to run all the way over to my battery, would that not be the same thing as this cable running to this battery right here?
Yeah, it'd be the same.
Yeah, right? Because all we're doing is we're just running this cable to a battery.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what a jumper cable is for. It's to say, hey, let me run this cable from all the way from here over to a different car.
Okay.
So theoretically, what I could do, if I think there's something wrong with this battery, which I don't, but if I did think there was something wrong with it, I could just connect the cables, jumper cables, from here over to my battery, and it should be the same thing as installing the battery into the car.
Left.
Lefty loosey.
That's right.
That's correct. No, you're turning it to the left. All right, this is a conundrum that most people have, right? Because your hand's turning to the right right now, right? But now, but if you come over here,
It's going.
but come over here.
I know.
No, come over here. Look at it from different perspectives.
I know. I get it.
You got it?
Yes.
Okay. All right, stop there. So now, you see how this metal on this side looks like it's fused together?
Yeah.
And you can see how there's like pry marks right here?
Mm-hmm.
That's because somebody has tried to pry this apart before, several times. Alright, so one thing we could do is we could take the battery out of the truck and throw it in here. And hopefully it will just start, right?
Right.
The only bad thing about that is, especially when you're doing like a barn find type thing, if you're out in the field and you use your battery, the good battery in your good working car, and you run it down, how are you going to get back to wherever you need to go, right? So use it sparingly, you know. If you do use it for a short period of time and then give up. Gotta make sure you can get back.
Okay.
I'm not hooking up the battery, right? I'm hooking up the cable. I'm try to connect it on the inside of that cable versus the outside of that cable. Why would I do that?
I don't know.
Because the inside of that terminal looks like it might be working, but the
Okay.
outside does not appear to be fresh.
Okay.
Now, did I check the other end of the cables before I did that?
No.
Do I need to?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you could shock yourself. There could be a spark. You could blow the battery up.
But is it connected to a battery? No battery right now, right?
Oh.
It's all I'm doing is I just got 2 cables hooked up. That's all it is. Yeah. But like I told you before, always act as if
It's a loaded gun.
or that it's got a charge on it, because it'll help you to do it safely every single time.
And now we wait?
Your turn.
Oh, right.
Well, that stinks.
Yep. Alright. The truck hooked up to the battery. I'm gonna reach in here and just cross this over. Nothing. Huh. Well, all right then. Huh. Well, I'm stuck. Typically, when you have a battery hooked up, if you jump that relay,
Yeah.
it should send the signal to the starter,
Yeah.
and it should just turn over. The fact that it's not may imply that it's a starter and not the relay. Starter is much more complicated.
How
All
do
right,
you jump that relay?
so you got a relay.
Right.
All right. So you got one wire that comes in from the battery. You got one wire that comes in from the ignition. So
Which one's which?
yellow wire's ignition, black wire's battery.
Coming in from battery.
Yep.
From the positive?
Yep.
So it's running down
Hold on a second. So
and then back up.
this is your neutral safety wire right here, which means that in the interior, you had to put it in park or neutral.
Right.
That grounds this wire out. So that's gonna be grounded.
Okay.
And you got, I'm sorry, I said that backwards. This is your positive wire, and this is your solenoid wire.
Okay.
But you just connect those two.
Oh, you're connecting them like that, yeah.
I do have the relay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and switch it out.
Oh, okay.
And if I switch it out and it's still bad, then we'll go to the starter. Alright, well, I'm gonna disconnect the battery. I'm gonna try it one more time. Just definition of insanity. That's fine. This little washer. And there. So we'll put that wire on. We'll place this wire on. Put the O-ring. Washer on. The nut. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this up. Okay, and then we'll slip these on, the ignition wire and the ground. Not it. Typically Mopars, these type of cars, you know, they always had that long starter motor. So you turn it over, it started up, but you can still hear that the starter motor wearing down, you know? Yeah. But that's also typically like on newer cars, it's a sign that the starter's going bad when it's still running after you fill all the power. Alright, well. So you're gonna get started. So that starter's been on it since you bought it?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's something I can think of, is that somehow it's, you know, gone bad. Which I don't know why it would have, but I guess they do. I mean, that happens. But I mean, can you think of anything else it might be? You want to hear it, try to see if it starts?
They get the thing fixed. The car thing fixed.
The what thing?
Crank it over.
The battery. Yeah, I took it home and charged it last night, and put it in. It looked like it was charged. Tried to turn it over, it wouldn't turn over. So I was like, all right. So then I went up there and I replaced you said yellow box right there?
Yeah.
That's the starter relay. So I went to, you know, I was just using it to try to jump it to see if it'd start. It wouldn't. All right, so we should have power. Yep. What is? Oh yeah, starter.
Starter right in
Yeah.
there.
No, I've seen it. I mean, I can tell it's been on some time.
It's same one that come on it.
Okay. Well, let me let you hear it and see what you think.
Tear it up.
Did you hear that tick 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 tick?
Yeah.
So that's typically a starter sound. So I got a starter ordered.
Yeah.
I just got to jack this car up and get under there and let you get underneath it and change it.
No, I'm not.
There you go.
Oh, they say it takes to get that started. About $50 for a new one back then. Yeah.
All right, so we're just gonna leave this off. Looks like we might need to get a new battery tray.
I know. A mini moon that.
Yeah. That was pretty common though, as far as always working on your car, right?
Yep.
There's always something going on, something you need to fix.
That's right. That's the same thing. It come on when I got it brand new.
The power steering?
Yeah. It was brand spanking new in that same one.
Right. Yeah, I always feel guilty when I have to change something on it. Like when I put the new alternator on it, I was like, I want to keep the old one, you know? Did you see I cleaned your heater box, the heater core box? I found a carton of cigarettes. Or the cardboard box that it came in.
Yeah.
Used it to block your air vent over there.
Well.
And Joyce said it was Homer's, Granddaddy's.
Yeah.
That's the kind he used to smoke or something.
Yeah.
So it looks like y'all got together, maybe made a little makeshift cover to go over the air vent.
Yeah.
Was it? I guess his air was coming in. You couldn't get it to stop.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It was, yeah, all of it was on our
The
crank.
coolant?
Yep, it was like,
Oh yeah, no, the air coming in on your feet.
yeah.
I assume you did that when it's cold outside, because the cold air coming in, you couldn't block it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
You know, I got that whole heater box restored. Put some new foam and everything in it. Got to get a new blower motor. Your blower motor was bad.
Well,
So I'm assuming whenever you turn the heat on, no air wasn't coming out of it anymore. No, it didn't do that? Okay. Well, whenever I tested it, I got it all back together. And then when I tested it, it didn't work. So I had to take it all back apart to get back to it. And I got a guy, I think in New York, that's getting ready to sell me one. So I'm waiting for it to come in.
no. Oh, good.
A fuse, right?
Yeah, getting the battery, it was, I can't say it now.
That's okay. Well, it's disconnected for sure.
Yeah, I know it now. It's off. It's off right now.
Okay.
It, uh,
Oil pressure gauge?
no,
Okay, no, so none of the gauges.
no, it's the
So it's under the dash.
radio. I mean, yeah, I'll get it in a minute.
Okay, so we're talking about something in the dash. So we got the ashtray, the cigarette lighter. We got the radio. We got
Yeah,
radio.
that's no, I got it down in the floor.
CB.
Yeah, see,
There we go. Okay, I got there. That's all right. We got there. Yeah. I saw the spot in the back where your CB was,
Yeah.
and I think we should hook that back up. I think we should put that antenna back on it and get your CB back in there. I need to get some windshield wiper blades too. I feel like if you ever get out and driving it around and all of a sudden a rainstorm comes up, you got to be able to turn them on. And the next thing I'll do after I get it running again, we're going to flush this radiator out. But yeah, so we'll flush this out, make sure there's nothing up in there. We're going to change out the thermostat, and we got a thermostat gasket. I saw this one's got a little, crack in it, so we'll change the fluids, change the thermostat, put the new gasket back on there, and then hopefully it'll run, or it'll run cool anyways. The other thing is, last time I drove it, the oil pressure when I first started it up was only at 20 psi. So I don't know why it dropped in oil pressure, but
All the way up?
I mean it was down to 20. When I hit the gas, it jumped up to 40.
Yeah.
Okay, but it wasn't holding the, the 80 pounds that it was holding when we first got it running. So I don't know what that is. We'll figure that one out too. No, that's all for this one. Tune in next week to see Mason install our first starter, and hit that like button to let Uncle Larry know you enjoyed it.
It's full.
Yeah.